Before companies can go public, they need to prove that they can grow as a private company. And to grow as a private company, they need to prove that they are worth investing in. In other words, they need funding. But research shows that some startups run by women are not getting as much financing as their male counterparts. Julia Boorstin has the story, though, of one investor who's trying to close that gap.
Investor Edith Dorson sees an opportunity in closing a gender gap for entrepreneurs, which is why she's raised 2 venture capital funds investing in gender-balanced teams, raising their A-stage funding, a key moment for startups, which are starting to gain traction to secure financing to grow.
We are seeing a very large and growing percentage of our deal flow that is, in fact, Series A ready.
Companies with at least one female founder have raised less than 16% of all venture capital funding in the first 8 months of this year, according to PitchBook. Entrepreneurs' chances of raising capital declines between the early seed financing, their very first funding round, and the A round, when they're looking for bigger checks to scale their businesses. And it's even harder for companies with a female founder, which see a bigger drop between seed and Series A deals.
Very few institutions are yet putting capital in at the stage we're talking about, which is where we think the bottleneck is. Specifically in what we refer to as Series A.
Dorson sees an untapped opportunity in focusing on female-led startups, which may not get as much attention from male venture capital partners. And her focus has drawn the backing of both institutional and individual investors. One of those investors is the Carlyle Group's Chief Transformation Officer, Reggie Van Lee, who was an executive at Booz Allen Hamilton for over 30 years.
This equity issue that exists with respect to women and getting access to capital is something that needs to be fixed. And not fixed just because it would be a nice thing to do, but because there's money being left on the table.
One of Dorson's investments is Hop, Skip, Drive, a transportation service for kids, co-founded by Joanna McFarland and 2 other moms.
I'm really proud that we had a number of investors that specifically invest in female entrepreneurs and a number of female funds that invested in that round because they saw the potential in what we were doing. And since then, our growth has just taken off.
That A-round investment enabled Hop, Skip, Drive to expand the potential for its ride service for kids age 6 and up. Originally just for parents, it's now focusing on working with schools. Now McFarland says the company has contracts with 170 schools and districts across 7 states, growing its revenue by 3 times this year. For Nightly Business Report, I'm Julia Boorstin in Los Angeles.